let's go to the third slide here. Now on the third slide, we are just using numbers and we are going to write expanded notation. Groups of, very good. Now, you know how I keep going like this? Because you say the number of groups and then you say groups of, and then you write the place value. So let's see how that works. So here is my number. By the way, what number is this in standard form? If I was going to type this number out, how would I type it? Well, let's type it out. Let's type all the numbers first. Okay, 4, 4, 8, 7, 6, 2, 3. Now, remember what I told you. We have a couple of things missing that we need to draw in. We need to put our decimal here. Very good. We need to put our decimal there. The decimal separates the whole numbers. We have to remember to always have that. And now we go ones, tens, hundreds, comma, ones, tens, hundreds, comma. So we got ones, that's the one place value, tens place value, hundreds, and then we do a comma right here in between. And what does that separate? It separates the new last name. You have 3 place values, and then the next 3 place values has a different last name. And then the comma tells us what last name to say. So these are the thousands. Okay, so ones, tens, hundreds, comma. So then we're going to say the first part, 326. And when you see that comma, you say the last name. What's his last name? Thousands. 326,784. That's the number. Good job. All right, let's keep going on what we're supposed to be focused on. Now we have to write in expanded notation, groups of. All right, so let's start with the ones. How many groups of 1 do I have? I think I heard the right answer. We have to look and see what number is here. What number is that? That's how many groups you have. Very good. So we have 4 groups of what? 1. 4 groups of 1, guys. That's what the number is. Okay. And now we're going to add it because we're decomposing 326,784 into its individual place values by groups of. That's what expanded notation is. So now let's go to this one. All right, so how many groups do we have? We have 8 groups. So we're going to write the 8. And then what's the place value? 10. So it's 8 groups of 10 plus 4 groups of 1. Got it? Got it? All right, so how many groups? We have 7 groups of what? 100. Awesome. 7 groups of 100. See if I can get this all in one line. Okay. We got to see that. Okay. And we can't have a sole parentheses. These are called parentheses, and you have to have an open parentheses and a closed parentheses, and then what's in the middle. But you just can't have one parentheses. Always comes in a pair. All right. So how many groups do we have, guys? 6. Groups of, what's the place value? 1,000. You guys are awesome. 6 groups of 1,000. All right, how many groups here? 2 groups of 10,000. And the last one is 3 groups of 100,000. And that is how you write expanded notation. You put your parentheses. Then you get it set up with the groups of symbol. So it's 3 groups of 100,000 plus 2 groups of 10,000 plus 6 groups of 100,000 plus 7 groups of 100 plus 8 groups of 10 plus 4 groups of 1. Excellent. All right. Well, now you know how to write expanded notation. Make sure you practice writing your place value chart, putting numbers in your place value chart, saying the names of those numbers, and writing them in expanded notation. Groups up. Okay, so this is page 10 in our interactive digital notebook. And we're going to practice on page 10, putting things in standard form, in word form, expanded notation, groups of, and expanded form. Remember, expanded notation, groups of. So you know it's going to have that multiplication symbol, that time symbol, and the parentheses, right? Open parentheses, close parentheses, always come in a pair. All right, very good. So then we have expanded form, which shows the value of the digits, the value, how much it's worth, each digit. And you have standard form. Standard just means the normal way to write a number. And then word form. Okay, and word form is written form. It's when you say the number, you write it exactly like you say it. Okay, remember that. So we're going to roll our virtual dice. Now, if you're in the classroom and you have dice, or if you have dice at home, you can roll dice at home. But we're going to go to this virtual dice online site. Ooh, I can hardly wait. So now we get to choose how many dice we want to roll. Let's roll 5 dice. And then we get to choose the style of dice. Let's choose that one. And let's roll them. All right. So we have this 6 is the 6 in the ones place. How do we know? Because that decimal is right here. So this is your ones. So we're going to say the numbers from the ones place. We'll go ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, okay? So we got to toggle. That means to go back and forth between our things so that we can write, between our notebooks so we can write that down. So in the ones place, it was supposed to be a 6. And we know that because the decimal was right, was to the right of the 6. So we know that that was in the ones place. And I know there was a 3. I'm probably not putting these in the right order, but that's okay. Doesn't matter what order. So here are our numbers, right? So now we're going to need, oh, I put those in the wrong place, guys. That's where the place values go. Ones, tens, hundreds. Got to fill out our place value chart. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Okay. Every time you move over, notice where the ones for each place value. Now you move over this one, there's a 1 0. You move over here, then it has to be 2 zeros to push that 1 over. Interesting observation. But we're going to get to that, but next week. Let's keep going here. So what number goes here? That was the 6. And then there was a 1, and there was a 3, and another 1, and then there was a 4. So I decided this was going to be the number. So what number is that? Well, let's write it in standard form. We're going to click in here. And we can either click in there and type it out, or we can use the numbers on the side and drag and drop. I'm just going to type it out. So we're going to type all the numbers out exactly how they appear in the place value chart. And remember, we go ones, tens, hundreds, comma. Ones, tens, hundreds. This is where my comma goes. Do not write the comma in until after you put all the digits in the correct sequence, correct order that they're in the place value chart. Don't try to put the comma in there early. Always put the digits down, then go ones, tens, hundreds, comma. And then you'll know you have it in the right place. All right, now it's time to say it because we have to say the number before we can write it in word form. So let's say the number. So you always cover up everything past the comma. So we're not going to say this part because that's after the comma. You always say what's in front of the comma first. And what I see is 41. So this would be 41. And when you see that comma, you say its last name. 41,316. Very good. So now what I just said, I'm going to type here. I probably am going to need to make it a little smaller. All right, so here we go. What did I say? What number is that? I said 41,316. Wasn't that easy? Once you know how to say it, you can always write it. Excellent. All right, let's do expanded notation. Now, expanded notation, remember, has the what? What are these things called? Parentheses. So we start with open parentheses. Then we put how many groups of the place value, close parentheses, plus. All right, so open parentheses. I have 4 groups of 10,000. And then I put the plus sign because we're decomposing the number as a sum of its groups of, right? So then I have, open parentheses, 1 group of 1,000. Plus, open parentheses, I have 3 groups of 100 plus 1, forgot my parentheses, open parentheses, 1 group of 10 plus 6 groups of 1. What did I forget? Forgot the parentheses. Don't forget your parentheses, Miss Woods. And that is how you write a number in expanded notation. Good job. Now we have expanded form. Now, expanded form is the value of the number written as, the value of each digit written as a sum of numbers. So we're going to start over here to our left. I need to make this kind of small. All right. So what is the value of the digit 4? Well, it's 4 groups of 10,000. So 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. That would be 40,000. Plus, then what is the value of the digit 1? Right. It's one group of 1,000, so that's just 1,000. Plus, what's the value of the digit 3? Well, that's 3 groups of 100. So 100, 200, 300. The value is 300. What's the value of that digit 1 in the tens place? Well, it's one group of 10. So 110 is 10. And then I have 6 groups of 1, which is 6 ones. So that would be 6. Okay, we can make it a little bigger. I think I went too small there. And that's how you write it in expanded form. And then you can always put an equal sign behind either expanded notation or expanded form and type the number out, because when you add them all up, that's what it equals. All right, I want you to compose and decompose numbers. So roll the dice again, put another number in there. You can erase all of this and use the drag and drop. All right, have fun.